Hey guys,
I'm Jeri.
I'm Sierra,
We're ladies.
and we tangent.
What's up, everyone?
Hello.
That seems to be the new intro now.
Yeah.
It used to just be that we started talking to
Sneak
one
attack?
another. Yeah. And
I don't.
like they just dropped in on our conversation.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but I feel like we have watchers, so
Yeah,
we
we
have
got to
to
address you people. I have a question
Okay.
for you. So, we received a message that I wanted to bring up from a one Mark.
Oh no!
He wanted to talk to a former member of Jebecca.
It's Jebica.
What is Jebecca? And why is someone named Mark asking you about a reunion tour?
Okay, so Jebica.
I did not warn you that I was going to ask you about this.
Jebica is a band I started in 5th grade
Wow.
with my neighbor Christine. Christine, I know you're the one that told Mark, because there's nobody else who knows about it except for my sister, who messaged me immediately and was like, "What is he talking about?" We had one hit single. It was "Blue at the Dance."
What?
I still know all the words.
I am feeling like a little left out, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Because as the cousin who orchestrated all of the performances for any family function, why did I not know about Jebecca?
I gotta be honest with you. This might have been when we were falling apart.
Oh,
when you
fair
were
enough.
becoming a basketball, and I was
Star.
and I was still hitting puberty. No, barely.
Listen, I didn't hit puberty. I was just hitting the courts.
Remember when one of my boobs grew and the other one didn't?
No, we must have been falling out then.
Everybody called me Uniboob.
They did?
They really
Who's
did.
everyone?
Like my family.
Oh.
My stepbrothers and sisters. I remember. Honestly, it's scarred to me.
Jebecca remembers.
Yeah, so we had one hit. It was "Blue at the Dance." Everything was blue at the dance.
Honestly, that's beautiful.
It was really good.
Did you write that?
Yeah, me and Christine. And Jebica, so it was me, Christine.
Look at all of a sudden she's like, fucking, you know what? Let me own Jebecca.
Me, Christine, and Taylor all took letters from our full names, and that's how we created Jebica. We scrambled them.
Who's the J?
That was from Jean, from my middle name.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a sneaky. Because honestly, I saw the J-E and I was like, but I don't know anything about that.
Is that me?
Yeah.
No, it's from Jean.
Mm.
And then B-E. Well, B is from Barn. Oh, no. Well, you threw me under the bus first.
So words out. Wow.
We are going on a 20-year reunion tour.
I found out via our DMs.
Yeah, we only have one hit single, so it's going to be a very short concert.
Yeah.
And the song is about, I don't know, maybe a minute long.
Had you even attended a dance?
No.
That's why I'm so blue.
Except everything was blue at the dance.
I've never been, so I was sad.
Oh my God, that's such a deep meaning that I didn't know I was putting onto it.
Wow.
One time.
5th grade year-old you is deep.
One time.
You're not anymore.
No, I'm so shallow. One time, this exact Christine, she was my neighborhood. We lived across the street from each other, so we hung out all the time. We all had a crush on this one. What?
I wasn't ready. Okay, I'm so sorry.
We boiled the water. I told you gotta wait like 20 minutes.
It was not that hot last time. Sorry. I should have listened and put lemonade in it, and I didn't.
No. So we all had a crush on one singular boy that lived in the apartment.
Was it Corey?
What? No.
Because you said he lived in your neighborhood.
No.
Okay.
No, we thought he was like an annoying little kid. He was 5 when we were like 8.
And you're like, now I'm gonna marry you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we decided that we were going to invite him to a dance, and the dance was held up in our bedroom in the attic. guess our bedroom was in the attic.
That sounds very murderous.
Yeah, and it was just us three.
That was the plan.
And we played slow songs to get him to slow dance with us. It was just us three girls and him. Oh, what? You weirdo. We wanted to have our first kiss, but we didn't know who was going to get it. All of you? Yeah, it turns out he left and none of us did.
We all kissed each other.
It was a moment of exploration for all of us.
Me and my sister.
You guys ever kissed your sisters? That would be weird. Anyways, that's a memory that I've never spoken about because it's so embarrassing. I went on a date with that guy in my 20s.
You did?
I did. He took me on a date to the brewery.
Did you finally kiss him?
I did.
Was it everything you dreamed of?
No.
And left you blue at the dance?
No.
Oh. Left him blue in his pants.
There you go.
Oh, wow. I don't even know.
I'm sorry I hijacked that.
No, I honestly, I just threw a pitch out there and you knocked it out of the park. Wasn't expecting it.
You're welcome.
That was not at all.
Yeah.
I did
Wait,
not think that story was going to be as well-rounded as it was,
Yeah.
really. I honestly feel like fuck anything I have to say after that.
I have a lot of embarrassing childhood memories that, by the way, thanks to trauma, I'm just getting back.
Yeah.
And like the embarrassing ones, I just have little snippets of, so I can barely remember that dance, but I know that it was very embarrassing.
I love that you keep calling it the dance when it was
I was in a boombox. There's three girls just staring at
in
this
your
guy.
bedroom.
In my bedroom. We didn't even clean it. It was so dirty. Not to mention, he was like 2 grades above us. He was like in middle school and we were in elementary school. And we're
Oh,
just
so
like,
he's the weirdo.
he was so weird.
Yeah, he's the weirdo in this story.
100%.
Yeah. He became a villain out of nowhere.
He
all
did.
Of a sudden. Wow.
Maybe that's why he took me out when we were in our 20s. And I was like, I have to hit this one out of the park for younger me.
Honestly, I gotta make up for it.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Wow. I don't know where to go now. I feel like, okay, so I was thinking about other messages and stuff we got. I didn't think that I like had other ones prepared because I didn't think that one was like gonna go.
Yeah.
But I was taken down so many memory avenues with that one TikTok that we did with the clothes.
Oh, it was wonderful. The people commenting. And
Yeah.
I forgot about the purses. First of all, gauchos. I don't know how we didn't. Like, gauchos, of course, with platform flip-flops. I wore that to church every Sunday.
My gauchos, I had a brown pair and like a black pair, and I lived in those.
Yeah. Brown always went with like a light blue shirt.
Oh, mine was like a cream shirt with a blue tank top, like a deep blue tank top, navy. Yeah. And then, I don't know if you did this, but I would scrunch my hair.
Oh.
But I would straighten my bangs.
Yep. But with the gel in it, so they were like slick.
Yes.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Also,
and when you use the straightener on it, it went
Steve.
and you're like, that's how I know it's working.
These are gonna look crisp.
It's just singeing my hair.
Oh my god, yeah, that was
You know
bad.
it's working when it sounds like bacon. Oh my goodness.
The other one, the initial purses.
Yes, I loved the initial purses.
First of all, there were so many people on there that were telling us that their moms just bought them.
A random letter.
She's like, my name starts with a J, and she bought me an A purse. Like, why?
Yeah, for attitude. Mom, petty as hell.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah, those were good. Oh, it was really.
Did you know that there's like Gen Z is known for like different gestures?
Oh yeah.
She's like, what gestures?
Did I do it right?
What gestures? I don't know all of them. I just know like
Yeah,
with the
that
hair
one
tuck.
I know. There's like this little guy.
What's that guy?
I don't know. You guys tell us. Oh, I might be doing something bad.
Oh, someone did that to us in a message.
And you were like, I want to karate chop.
Do you remember if someone came up to you?
You were like,
You
That's
had
the way
to do it.
Yeah.
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 But what I was thinking, what would ours be?
Mm.
It
Should we
was,
do the peace signs?
or it was like this.
Oh.
But it wasn't this way. It was this way.
Right up to our
with
eyeballs?
duck lips. You're taking me back. Oh my gosh, your mic is naked.
Oh my god. He was so exposed.
It was
Yeah. I still have so many pictures. And then just swooped the hair.
yeah.
So it's like no eyes.
And
at
the
all.
camera was here.
Yes. And so you were just like just the whites of your eyes.
Or the camera in the mirror with the flash, and so you couldn't even see yourself anyway. Oh my goodness. Or there was a lot of this.
I still do that just to hide my rolls. I'm doing it right now.
Or there was like, was it this?
That's I love you. This is
Yeah.
rock and roll Satan.
I think they would do this with the tongue.
Oh yeah, I still do that.
Well, you also still have a side part.
Listen, my widow's peak could never. Okay.
Yes, it could.
I don't think you understand how severe this bad boy is. It is.
It's not that severe. I want you to do a middle part sometime, just with me. You don't have to do it right here for
Okay,
everyone.
good luck, because this part
Before
of my
your
hair
concert,
will
at
be
least.
like.
At the very least, you should test it out
Yeah.
before your world tour.
All right,
Okay.
that's fair.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that.
Do you want another story?
Yeah.
I have a good one.
Okay.
So I left my house yesterday. That doesn't happen very often.
Right.
And I had to go grocery shopping. I don't grocery shop in stores. I get my shit brought to my trunk. So,
Right.
But while I was out, I was like, fuck, the dogs need dog food. And we're bougie. We feed our animals only the Supreme.
Yeah.
So I had to go to the fancy pet store to get it because they are gourmet pups.
Yeah.
So
Bougie ass.
I know. And of course, Corey's always like, get the big bag. So we have to go less. But I'm like, that's so much. I have to pull it down
Yeah.
and then try to carry it.
I feel like you moved your mic and now you don't know where it is. And I am just so nervous that when I go back to listen to this, it's just going to be like me talking and you going ding dong dong dong.
Honestly, I am not spatially aware right now.
Oh, that's a thing.
Spatial awareness.
Yeah, someone.
There was a word.
Yeah.
TikTok guy.
I'll look it up. His name's Alex.
Oh, thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's commented on 2 different things that made me go like this. So I remembered his name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's embarrassing. This sounds up. Okay, anyway, go on with your story.
So I come back home.
Mhm.
I get my groceries first, and then I come back in. As I'm pulling in my groceries, I grab my keys, grab my wallet. I'm talking to my mom on the phone, and then I unload all the groceries. Corey comes home. I'm like, hey, man, I really want Mexican food. He's trying to be like all healthy eating, so I'm like, I'm going to ask my son to go with me. You can have hamburgers or whatever.
Yeah.
No buns. Weirdo. So I go to leave. Can't find my wallet anywhere. And I'm like, what? I know that I had it. I brought it into the house. And then I'm pretty sure that I stuck it in my purse. And my purse hangs like this.
Yeah.
And then my trash can's underneath here, right?
Oh, no.
So I'm thinking, fuck, I threw it away.
Uh-huh.
I had just changed the trash. And I was cleaning out the fridge. So there were like old Tupperware containers full of old ass food.
Time out. Did you just say Tupperware?
Fuck! It's Tupperware. It's Tupper.
It's Tupperware. There is a TikTok that tells us that. But anyway,
Corey
Tupperware.
makes fun of me of that every time. There was old food in shits.
Containers.
And so we dumped them out into the new trash bag. I am looking everywhere for this wallet. I'm like, it has to be in the trash. So we get gloves. We're digging through. I'm literally gagging.
Yeah.
We had to go through 2 bags full of trash with old food in it. It's not in there. So now I'm second guessing myself. I'm like, did I even bring it in? Like, did I leave it at the pet place or whatever when I went to pick up the heavy bag? Did I set it down because it was too much for me to carry?
Well, you would have had to buy the stuff.
After I paid, did I set it down to pick it up to take it to my car? Or it's just like one of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Did I put it in my coat pocket and then it fall out when I was getting out of my car?
Yeah.
I start freaking out to Corey. I'm like, would you give it back to somebody if you found it?
Yeah.
He's like, yes. I'm like, well, I wouldn't.
That's how we learned you're a shit person.
Yeah, Corey's like, that says a lot about you. I was like, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
I would. I was just panicked. Anyways, I go down to the pet store.
Yeah.
I'm interrogating the women in there. They're like, we didn't find a blue wallet. I'm like, yeah, you fucking did. There are no other options at this point.
It's not in my trash, so you had to steal it.
So I think you stole from me, bitch.
Right.
I'm like threatening people. Then I'm like, maybe it was my neighbors.
Oh, everyone's a suspect right now.
Because I had it in my pocket. Maybe when I was getting out on the phone with my mom, I dropped it. Didn't know. They were standing outside smoking.
He's been waiting for me to drop this.
They ran over. They stole it. I'm
Yeah.
about to go home and go over to my neighbor's house. And Corey calls me. He's like, hey, guess who just found your fucking wallet? And I was panicking, crying at this
Yeah.
point because all of my cards, my health insurance, and then also our keys to the post office box were in that. And I was like, oh my fucking God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pay for all this stuff. Anyways, guess where it was?
In the dog food.
Underneath the fucking trash bag. So we went through the trash. I changed the trash bag.
Oh.
When I changed it, it fell in. I put the new bag over it. I didn't even fucking look.
Well,
And so that's it.
embarrassing. Do you know that I did that once too, but not. I just found a hair here, and so now I'm distracted. I'm so
pull it
sorry.
off.
I'm sorry, and now it's just in the couch. Anyway, do you know that happened to me once with my retainer?
Okay, I told Corey the story as we were going through the trash. I remember one time I made everybody go through the trash at a restaurant for my retainer. It was in my pocket.
Oh my! That happened to me. When
Sorry
I was
to
at
steal
the
your story.
no, when I was at the park
Mhm.
after swimming lessons, and I was getting cheese sticks.
Oh,
You ever get a cheese stick and the cheese is so good? It's like a real long guy.
yeah.
Listen, it was like one of those guys. I almost choked. I had to like pull it out of my throat.
I've choked on a cheese stick before. I won't fuck with cheese sticks anymore.
You can't. You gotta be careful.
It's so scary.
So, anyway, I'm convinced I threw my retainer away. Okay. So I'm looking, my grandma's looking, my cousin's looking. The freaking park director is looking through the trash. You know Rod.
Yeah.
Rod is not a guy you want looking in the trash for you, only for you to find your retainer hooked on your pant loop. It was on my person. It was on me.
I was like, mine was in a napkin in my pocket. I was
Yeah.
like, you guys, I'm fucking so
Oh my
sorry.
God. You ever try and peel a napkin off your retainer?
A lot of times, I'm not going to lie to you, there was still paper on it. I fucking stuck that bad boy back in there. I was like, everybody eats a little bit of paper. It's fine. It'll melt. It was always gone by the time I took it back out. Where'd it go?
It's my first magic trick.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh
there's
my
that.
God. So anyway, you know what's
Um,
funny is on days where I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to fill time. We end up doing this shit for 20 minutes.
I told you we
So-
would. I'm like, remember we never, she's like, I don't know if we're going to have enough. I'm like, remember how we like don't even get into the topic for like 20 minutes?
Well, that's because I know that we're going to be talking about us, like my personal journey with something. And I'm like, no one cares about that. Let's
Yeah.
talk about literally anything else.
Imposter
So-
syndrome. So I tell you about my childhood, like the most embarrassing shit.
I would much rather tell you about how I used to eat paper off a retainer than tell you about why I decided to leave teaching.
Well,
So,
what
Are
a
we getting-
segue.
the weirdest segue, honestly.
I don't know. It was a good segue. Is a segue something you ride on?
It can be.
Okay.
I think
always
they're doing
wondered.
away with them, but
Like these guys?
yeah.
Who needs them when we have hoverboards?
Honestly, it's just because we got better and we didn't need the handles. They're like, cut them off.
Which I think we do. Because
Need
I've
the
tried
handles?
a hoverboard.
I've seen the video.
I cannot hover.
No, I've never tried. They scare me.
It's very, you have to have like a low center of gravity or some shit. I don't know.
I don't think that's how gravity works.
Center of gravity?
A low center of gravity, then you're real top heavy.
No.
You just gotta have a center of gravity.
You think?
I don't know. What do I look like?
I don't know.
Sir Isaac Newton?
Yeah.
With this middle part, I could be. Honestly.
Make that pony a little lower. Oh, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm kidding. I literally was living my Alexander Hamilton just best life the other day with this low pony. And even when I took it out of the pony, I just looked like Alexander at home.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So teaching, I guess. All right. So what we're actually here for.
Yes.
So we got a request. We get a lot of DMs. We told you we answer basically all of our DMs.
Yeah, please keep DMing us. We love it.
Yeah. And giving us suggestions too.
Yeah. Because we
It's helpful.
sometimes we'll get to like Thursday and we record on Friday and we're like, so what are we doing this week?
Well, we have a bunch of ideas, but sometimes they take a little bit longer to get everything we need for them.
Yeah.
And it's also hard for the first year that we were recording, we didn't have anyone really giving us topic suggestions.
Yeah.
So now that we have people being like, I'd like to hear you talk about this, we're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Because we were running out of ideas.
Yeah.
But the question that we got was if I would be open to talking about leaving teaching. And I'll be honest, it makes me very nervous to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I'm going to do it anyway. Initially, I did not want anyone to know that I was doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I started photography, my photography business was not my name. I did not want anyone to know that I had a life outside of teaching because I was so scared to have a life outside of teaching.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's something people think about is when you're a teacher.
That's like such a career that you have to watch your every single move, I feel.
Well, especially in today's day and age with technology and stuff.
My
Like,
gosh.
I could not, if I was at a restaurant, I could not order a drink other
Yeah.
than like water or pop, even if I was like, even if it was a Saturday or in the summer. If I
Right.
ordered like a beer or a mixed drink and I risked getting a photo taken by a student or a video of a student, a Snapchat or whatever, it's just a really uncomfortable situation to put yourself in.
Yeah.
And all that, like, even saying that, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Right.
I'm of age.
You are,
I'm
yeah.
not working.
You're not hammered out there. You're
Right.
having a drink with your family or whatever.
I couldn't go to water parks. I couldn't go to swimming pools because, again, if I'm in a bathing suit and a kid takes a picture of me or snaps a video, like, it sounds crazy, but it's not
No.
when you're a teacher.
Yeah. Oh, I remember at the time I was working at Texas Roadhouse and I had hosts and hostesses that would come up to me and be like, "Oh, are you Miss S's cousin or something like that?" Yeah. Because we
Yeah.
had the same last name for a while and it
Yep.
was before you became, but they were like, "Are you related to, oh, she's my teacher." And like, then I felt secondhand like I had to watch what I said or did around them because
Yeah.
they knew that we were close. And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my God, that's their teacher."
Well, also, you guys know, obviously, how open I am about my opinions
Yeah.
about everything. I was not allowed to have an opinion
Yeah.
as a teacher. So, like, at school, I could not discuss any kind of politics. Even teachers who are teaching government, like, I understand that they're not necessarily allowed to
Supposed to say,
influence
like, yeah.
one way or another. But I am someone who can't keep my mouth shut, and I can't play devil's advocate when I
Know that something's wrong.
Yeah, I can't pretend. And so it felt incredibly stifling for me. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that there are people who are very laissez-faire about politics and about social justice issues and things like that. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
And so I felt incredibly stifled in the school system. And also, I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated the bureaucracy of it. I hated not being able to dress a certain way, not being able to speak a certain way. I didn't like it. It can be very, very toxic.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people joke about how when you work in a high school, it's like you never get out of high school and you act like the kids act. And that's very much true.
Yeah.
I'm like very scared talking about it.
Take your time.
Just because, and I don't know if anyone's going to think that I'm being dramatic right now, but like, it's not dramatic.
Yeah.
There were very scary things that happened to me when I taught, and I'm not going to get into them because I won't. But one of the things that I can talk about is I'm someone who suffers from PTSD, and being in the school system and having, and I kind of touched on this, having to do constant active shooter drills was really, really, really difficult for me. I had a training one time where they split us up into 3 different groups. And so we were in 3 different wings of the school. And I was in a room with like maybe 15 other teachers. And we heard them coming down the hall. I knew that they were instructors. I knew that the gun that they were using was fake.
Oh, they like full on like acted it out?
Yes. And they did this 3 times. The first time they did it, we had to respond in the way they told us to respond. So the first way they told us to respond was what they called sitting duck. So you sat in the room and you did nothing. And they walked in the room, and one by one they went down.
Oh,
and
my
they
God.
said, "You're dead, you're dead, you're dead," to all of us. And they're like, "All right, so now we know sitting duck doesn't work." Yeah.
I feel like there's better ways to fucking teach people that.
Oh yeah. So that happened. The second round, we were supposed to barricade. So they let us know when the timer started, and we had to do whatever we could, find anything in the room, and barricade the door closed. So we stacked desks, we stacked chairs, we found things to potentially throw or hit them with whenever they came into the room. Like, we had one teacher who was the wrestling coach, so he was freaking ready, and he had the fire extinguisher, and I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna freaking get him." And because I am who I am, in that moment, I was like trying to make a joke of it.
Yes. Well, that's what we do, and I feel like we should say that just in case anybody ever listens to any of. If there's a moment on any of these podcasts where you feel like we're making light of something, it's because we're the type of people. That's how we deal with.
It's an unhealthy coping mechanism.
Yeah, anything that's like almost traumatic or uncomfortable or any kind of way makes us feel like, we'll try to make a joke. We want to make light of it because we don't like obviously feeling those feelings.
Yeah. Otherwise, I pass out.
Yeah, literally.
So I was trying to be upbeat. I was trying to be like, it's no big deal. But like, when I think back on that day, it is horrific.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even real.
Yeah.
And then the third one, we had to run. Luckily, the room that I was in had a direct exit to the outside.
Is honestly kind of making me sick. I want you to keep going, but it's like making my stomach turn thinking about
that was something I had to practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that they have children practicing that.
They didn't have the kids there.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
No, this was just the adults.
It's still really bad.
I was gonna say it was just the adults there that day, but it was
in my mind as a parent. I'm thinking like, oh my God, because my son has told me they have active shooter drills.
Yeah. No, yeah, there are
in
drills.
Elementary school. They have these, and I remember him coming to school or coming home from school at 5 as a kindergartner and having to tell me what to do. And in his mind, he kept saying, "Well, I'll just take the gun from the bad guy. I can beat the bad guy." And I was like, "You can't. You have to hide, or you have to like." He in his mind, he could not even fathom where there was a moment where that could be real. And I was like, how do I explain this to him without scarring him?
Yeah.
But also, it's a real fear, unfortunately, that. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go on.
You're fine. Because I mentioned in, I think, the Judgments episode, I talked about how I had a list that I was like, oh, what did I do on this day? Well, one of the beginning days was I'm going to talk to each of my classes about what we do in the event of an active shooter.
Oh, my God.
Because, like I mentioned before, I taught high school special education. The kids in my room were from moderate to severe on the autism spectrum, Down syndrome, multiple physical and mental impairments. Like, these were severe disabilities. And it was really, really tough for me to communicate that in a way that they understood, like, this is life and death.
Yeah.
And I remember just having to look at them and being like, all right, this is a serious talk, and we're going to practice this. We're going to practice this as much as we can. And I have to, in that moment, be strong and like, yeah, this is not a big deal. If someone with a gun comes in this room, this is what we'll do.
Yeah.
And we're going to be fine. Do I feel that?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Not even in the slightest. But I am now responsible for these children, and people love them.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to take care of them. But also, I'm someone
Yeah.
with a family.
And you were teaching when you were pregnant as well, correct?
Yes.
So, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah. And that was when it got really bad because it was, I think that's when Parkland, I think that's what in Florida.
Yes.
That was the one that triggered me really, really bad.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Because the school that I taught at, I worked with my kids in an area that was open to the public. And all I kept thinking is, if someone's going to do this, this is where they're going to come.
Yeah.
They're going to come where I am with my students because this is
The way in.
This is an entrance.
Yeah.
And it's not locked. Every other door is locked or you have to be buzzed in.
Yeah.
And
oh God.
I panicked.
Yeah.
It was one of the scariest things, and I do remember having an assistant principal come and check in on me, and he was like, "Are you okay?" Because I had written something on Facebook, which I don't do normally.
Yeah.
Sierra's more the keyboard warrior, but
I really am.
I finally broke down and was like, I'm really struggling with this, and he came and checked on me, and I was like, "No, dude, I'm not okay. I'm not okay." And I know that I joke with everyone and I try and be strong, but like, I can't do this. And that was one of the hardest things because I love those kids.
Yeah.
But I couldn't stay.
Yeah.
And that was not the only reason I decided to leave teaching. I never wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I realized when I was a junior that I didn't want to be a teacher, but I pursued it anyway.
You have to at that point. You're like,
because I was in
gotta
too deep.
commit. Yep.
Yeah. And what I wanted to do, which is pursue a career where I could be creative.
Yeah. Because originally, didn't you say like right out of high school you wanted to do like interior design?
Yeah. I was actually in school for interior design.
Yeah.
And then I was told like, that's a difficult field to get into. You're not going to be able to be successful how you want to be around here. And at that point in time, leaving here was the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah,
right.
You can't do it.
So I was so intimidated and so fearful that I was like, oh, well, I want to be successful.
Yeah.
So
There's like 5 careers you can pick from. Something in the medical field, a teacher, and then you can get like a trade school, something.
Right.
And then there's like, I don't know, 2 other.
And at that point, I had stereotypes about trade jobs, which was incorrect.
Well, yeah, we grew up at a time where it was like, you have to go to college or you will not be successful.
Right.
And now half of the kids that we went to school with that went to trade schools instead are making more money and don't have any debt now.
Right.
than the kids that spent 8 years in school and are still living with their parents. No judgment either way, but
right. Or me, who's not even
doing what they. Well, I know how many people. Someone else that I know went to school their whole time to be a teacher and now works at a different company. They do like I don't know what it's called. It's like almost like it's like a construction kind of company.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he works
yeah.
in like the accounting part.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, didn't do anything with the degree that you had, but he didn't need a degree when he went and got his other job.
I just want, and I don't know if I've talked about this, but I just thought, okay, you graduate, you go to college, you get a job, you get married, you have children, and then you die. Like, that's the order of things.
And you have to get a job that's approved by the elders.
Right.
Because what I am going to school for now, which is psychology, it was something I wanted to do right out of high school, and I was told by people, well, unless you're going to move to a big city, there's not really it's
or
not
what
really
is
a big field.
psychology? What
Yeah.
is that? What
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
do with that?
What are you going to do? Research? You got to get a real job.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it was
you
like,
got to
okay.
get a 9 to 5. Get a 9 to 5 or you are not successful.
And for me, teaching was like, okay, well, I get my summers off and I get holidays off. And if I have a family, then my hours will match my kids' hours and they get good benefits.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever.
Right.
And I always thought, like, this will be fine.
Yeah.
I can do it. I was miserable.
Yeah.
I was miserable. And I made friends there that I love. And there are people there who I hope I never speak to again.
Yeah.
And I think you'll have that at any job. But at the same time, like I was never going to be a good teacher because my heart was never in it.
Yeah. You have to do something that you love. And I don't think we have to pick something to do and do it for the rest of our lives. I think that's silly too.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned that before is like the thought of being a teacher for the rest of my life made me want
Especially
to die
you
right
were
now.
In it, what, like 5 years? Maybe?
I taught for 5 years. Yeah.
And so looking at what you have, like how many more years, you're like, I can't picture doing this every day for the rest of my life.
Maybe it's the Gemini in me, but I can't picture doing too many things for the rest of my life.
No.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we are creatures that are made to do that, because the person that I was when I was a child to a teenager to a young adult to now I feel like an actual adult,
Right.
even from my 20s to my 30s, vastly different person.
Yeah.
Vastly
Still
different.
Jepica at your core.
Yeah. I mean, 100% I am a star. But like, I can't imagine picking something when I was 18. I don't even know who that person was back then. Like, not even remotely the same. So if I let her pick my career choice,
Honestly.
girl.
Yeah.
And then I was stuck with it. Luckily, I failed out of college. So thanks for making that decision for me. I did have to pay like one semester, but other than that, I was just a server forever, which is a beast of its own.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what I want to talk about too, is like when I left teaching to pursue photography, which is now my full-time career, it was something I was afraid of because I didn't know if I was going to be successful. Working for yourself is very, very scary and not guaranteed. But what I didn't realize is that so much of my identity was wrapped up in teaching.
Yeah.
And just because I didn't like being a teacher doesn't mean I wasn't good at being a teacher.
Right.
I won awards.
Yeah.
They do, you get rated, get assessed. I got the highest rating every time I was assessed. I got an accomplished rating every single time. I won money because of something I submitted. I was in the paper. My students, I'm not saying that I wasn't good at being a teacher.
Right. It just you hated it. You were successful at it.
You can be good at something and also hate it.
Absolutely hate it. And just because you're good at it doesn't mean that you have to stick with it.
Right. And but when I left, oh my God, I love photography.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It is amazing. But when I told people I was a teacher, the response I got was, especially when I said I teach high school special ed, because we're like, oh, I'm a teacher. What do you teach? High school special ed. Oh, bless you.
Yep.
You're an angel.
Yeah.
Wow. I could never. How amazing. Seriously, God bless you. And then when I said I'm a photographer, it was, oh,
like as a hobby?
That's nice. And it was like my worth.
Yeah.
Especially because I felt like I could find important or value in each of them.
Yeah.
And there is value in everything. But when I heard other people, I shrunk.
Yeah.
When people all of a sudden went from bless you to,
oh, that's what you're doing?
That's cute. So you take pictures?
Well, that sounds fun.
Wow. Did your nice camera do that?
Yeah, no. I can't. But that's such a, there's also, I feel, a certain like,
See, that's what I was getting at whenever you said I was just a server. Like, you're not just a server.
I know, but that's how I was made to feel.
Well, yeah, because we make people feel that way.
Listen, when I was a server, there were multiple times where people who I was serving, first of all, I couldn't do that job because you have to be okay with being mentally and verbally abused every single day. That was so incredibly difficult. It has been 10 times worse in the last 3 or 4 years. I've heard from people who serve now that with COVID, it's even worse. It's terrible the way that people are treat your fucking servers better. Like, I'm not kidding. That is the one way that it will make me irate. They are going through hell right now, and they've been going through hell. But when I would tell my tables, whatever, and they'd be like, well, what are you in school for? And I'd be like, oh, I'm not in school. And they're like, well, what do you want to do, like, as your career? I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm actually making really great money. Like, I probably make, when I started dating Corey, he was a nurse, and he would be like, you're making as much money as I am weekly. And I was. I didn't have health insurance or like benefits. I couldn't get paid days off. When I was sick, I had to show up at work and friggin' cough all over the place. So sorry.
Well, that was another thing too with teaching is like, I had to save up my sick days.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get maternity leave.
I say like benefits and health insurance like it's a fucking thing that people who get it actually get good advantages. You don't. Like, I'm sorry.
I did have good health insurance, but I didn't get maternity leave like you think. Like, you think, oh, you're just guaranteed 6 weeks. No. I had to save up my sick days.
Also, 6 weeks is not enough time.
I had to
Puppies
save up
are with their mothers longer than that.
I had to say, oh, for sure. But I had to save up for 5 years to get the time off that I got with Ollie.
Oh my God.
And I had to, so I would go to school sick all the time because I'm like, I can't not go.
Because then I'll have to leave my baby earlier.
Right.
Imagine if you were in my situation then.
Right.
Where I went into preterm labor and I was put on bed rest for like 3 months before I had Noah. And then obviously I was cool when I was a server because I was like, you don't have to pay me. But then I didn't make any fucking money for 3 months. It was awful.
Right.
That's why I went back after 4 weeks because I was like, I have to have a paycheck.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that happened when I miscarried too, because I had 2 miscarriages before I had my sons. And I remember strategically planning when I was going to actually take the medication that I needed to have my miscarriage so that I didn't miss days.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
And I still ended up having to take a day because the day I was supposed to go back, I woke up, I had lost so much blood, I was dizzy. And I was mad. Is that not insane that I was like, oh, shit, I have to use a sick day because I'm bleeding?
I'm literally miscarrying. I'm losing a child right now.
Yes.
Not even the fact that it's like you should have time off to grieve,
right? Because
you should. It's the fact of like your body physically is going through something terrible right now.
And I had like a half-hour commute, and I'm like, I don't think I should drive. I don't think I should get behind the wheel of a car right now.
Oh my God. Isn't it wild that we live in a place where things like this aren't handled better?
Yeah.
I just can't really fathom that.
Right. So, to the person who asked how I left, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough that a lot of my loans were forgiven after teaching for 5 years. So financially, it made sense. I had enough time to build up my business as a wedding photographer so that I knew I could make what I was making teaching and I could replace my income that way. My husband carries the benefits. I had a way out.
Yeah.
I was privileged in that way where I was able to make those moves. And I also was able to take a leave of absence.
Yeah.
So I applied to take a year off, and I wrote a letter saying like I would like to spend a year with my family and then revisit because I was guaranteed my position back.
Mm-hmm.
And they called me March 3rd of last year, 2020, and was like, hey, just want to know if you want to come back. And I was like, nope, I'm actually pregnant with baby number 2 and my business is doing great. Don't think I'm going to come back. Thanks so much for all the time. And then COVID hit and all my weddings got canceled. And I was like, oh no, I think I made a mistake. But honestly, it still wasn't a mistake. I I feel confident not going back. I was never going to do anyone any good being a teacher, I don't think. I mean, I think a lot of my students would disagree.
Right. I mean, you did well, but you're the one that matters in the situation, is you wouldn't have done well for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think my family ultimately would have suffered.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't doubt that.
So now we're just going to get into, I put up a little Q&A box to see if anyone had any questions about this topic.
I just want to say, if anybody's watching us on YouTube or listening on Spotify, go follow our Instagram, because we post things like this, like Q&As and stuff, and sometimes we'll do little things like this so you guys can have an active part in being a part of this.
Yeah, look at you,
Thank
you little influencer.
Thank you.
Wow.
Also, please like, subscribe. Wherever you're listening, please.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I saw that we had like so many reviews on Apple, and I was like,
I don't have an app. God, I gotta get an iPhone.
You do.
I really do.
Because since the day you told me that you saw one of them, we had gained like 90 more after that. I know.
I am shitting.
I'm pooping on your couch.
Like, review, subscribe, do it all.
So the first question is it hard to keep yourself motivated now that you're your own boss? Did I say that right? Now that you're your own boss. Yes and no. I would say I have a problem taking a break more so than anything. And I think if you love what you're doing,
it's not hard to keep doing it.
Yeah. Would you say that now that you're pursuing?
So I don't know if a lot of people know this. If you've listened the whole time, you've probably caught snippets. But before I went to school, I've been to school like 3 times.
Yeah.
But before doing this, going back to college, I was in school for real estate. And just that, like, it was so hard for me to sit down and do it because...
Sorry, I just sucked that string in. Sorry, go ahead.
Because, and this is how I decided I couldn't do it. I had a breakdown moment. I was crying to Corey, and I was like, I know I could be good at this. I was killing every test, doing a great job. I was like, I fucking hate this. It takes me everything in the morning to sit down and do this. I hate it. And now every morning that I wake up, I'm like excited. I look at my lesson plans for the week, like whatever we in our syllabus. I've never fucking looked at a syllabus before. And now I get like excited. I'm like, ooh, what's on the agenda next week? I like make flashcards for every freaking class. So it's definitely different when it's something that you're passionate about.
Right. I've noticed a change in you too.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I think you feel... COVID hit pretty hard.
It was bad.
But like now, I know you were so anxious for school to start. And once it got started, first of all, you're awake a lot more often.
I'm awake so much. I get up by 10 every day. That's like the latest I'm in bed. It's amazing.
Oh my God, that's so late.
For you.
That's like halfway through my day already, honestly.
But I also go to bed at like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
2 a.m.
Well, I was too for a while.
I know, you crazy person. What is wrong with you?
I know.
I need more sleep.
I was not a nice person. Now, I was doing my family channel, but I decided to take a break from that.
Yeah.
And it's honestly been really good for my mental health.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not hard. I think that there are parts of it that are hard, like paying taxes.
Yeah.
Doing like the back end stuff is difficult, but this is like not technically our job, but we treat it like a job. There's not a bit hard about this.
No, I could do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
100%.
And a lot of you have messaged us and said like that we've changed your life.
Mm-hmm.
You've changed ours.
I was just going to say that. I literally feel like you've changed our life. In the last 3 weeks, I can't remember a time being happier ever in my life than the last 3 weeks. And it's not just like the positive messages and things help, but just knowing when you guys tell us like how we've impacted you, that we've made you want to go to therapy, that we've made you, that you were thinking really dark thoughts and you could laugh and it took that away. That is all I want in my life. That's literally it. You talk about filling your cup full. Yeah. When I realize that I've reached that. It's the reason I want to go into psychology. So knowing that we can do it here, just like chit-chatting, is
Yeah.
amazing.
I feel like when I was teaching, again, just because you were a great server, just because I was a great teacher, does not mean that was filling my cup at all. Does not mean it was like...
My cup was shattered.
Honestly. my cup was fucking upside down.
Yeah,
like you couldn't pour into that shit.
Could not be filled.
No. And like, I don't ever want to need something external to fill my cup. I don't want to ever have to rely on like positive reinforcement from you guys. Yeah. But it's not so much that you're gassing us up as people. It's more so that like
we can tell that we're affecting you. Right?
Well, yeah, and I mean, as someone who struggles with imposter syndrome and anxiety and my own issues with trauma, I have always struggled to feel seen and to feel unconditionally loved. And I've struggled to know what reality is, and to have so many people consistently telling us the same thing has made me feel like I no longer have to question my worth. Yeah. And that fills my cup. It's not so much the "you're awesome, keep going, girl" that fills my cup as it is.
Cool. Yeah. We do love those.
Yeah, we also like those. But it's more so that I no longer have to question who I am as a person. Yeah. So thanks for like you guys have just been like the best mirror ever.
We said that we wanted to create a community of like friendship, and I feel like we've done that now, and you guys are the fucking coolest people. I could not have picked better friends. Yeah. You guys are amazing.
Yeah. So this was for you.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have been good at online teaching if you would have continued? Nope, not at all. I'll be honest.
Oh, if you would have done it this year, holy shit.
I was planning my lessons as my students were walking in the door. I always was like, all right, the first 15 to 20 minutes is typing club. Everyone get out your laptops. We're going to practice our typing.
So that I can figure out what we're doing for the rest of the day.
Yep. 100%. And I only had to teach one day a week. The other days I was taking them out to work in the community. So like... I literally had one day to teach, and I couldn't even do that.
Like, no, it's too much.
The prep was just like, oh my God, I don't care.
That's what it was. You didn't care.
Yes. When I cared about the kids.
Yeah.
But like, it was Groundhog's Day, and I was over it, and I felt bad because I wanted them to succeed. And like, let me tell you, I had a girl I started with her first year there. Basically nonverbal. She said yes and no. She left there and could say a sentence to me. Aww. She asked me about my baby when I was pregnant. Like, when I say that this girl, her and I, listen, I love that girl. Yeah. And I could say that about so many of my students. I still didn't want to do it. No. Still didn't want to prep shit for that.
I don't blame you.
I don't like the prep.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I make you do the prep.
That's true. That's whenever I was sitting down and doing things for real estate, I would like go through my book and I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't care. Realtors out there, I don't know how you do it, man, because it is not something that I know that I could do it. Serving is basically a sales job. Like they tell, especially if you work corporate, you guys know, you upsell, they make you try to push things. And so I was a very good salesperson. I knew that I could do well at it, but sales feels grimy to me. I want to help people. If sales feels like I'm tricking people because I'm like, and it wouldn't be that way for me in the beginning. I know it wouldn't have, but I feel like eventually it always turns into that because it's a money game. Once you start getting it, you get addicted to that, like, oh, I did this and I told them this. And I would never like really intentionally trick people, but I knew if there was a way to like get a sale, I would want to get that sale. Yeah. And I don't like that.
Just feels manipulative.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you miss it?
I don't want to. All salespeople. I'm not saying that you are. I just know who I am as a person.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is like, just because I don't care to do lesson planning, that means I'm not meant to be a teacher.
There are great fucking teachers out there who wake up and love what they do, and they will do it and love it till the day they die. Shout out to you.
Love
guys.
You.
Yeah, not
take my job.
Not for us.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Teach my kid.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna. Honestly, I feel guilty because Ollie the other day got out his blocks and he just started like holding up letters and going, A, D. And he was like half the letters he was reading. And I looked at Shane. I'm like, I've never read a single fucking letter to him.
Who's teaching the child?
I don't know how he knows these letters. What the fuck?
Oh my God,
So,
he's a savant.
I guess. I like drew letters on his chalkboard in his room one time and was like, this is the alphabet. And then I locked him in there for 6 hours and said, learn it or don't come out. Just kidding. I think he's got one of those laptops.
Oh.
But like when
I let technology teach my kids. I'm not joking.
Yes. When he plays
It
with
does a good job.
Honestly.
My son's vocabulary is phenomenal.
But when he plays with it, it literally is like AADD, rawr, rawr. I gave you an email. And it just like says 1,000 things at once. And I'm like, how are you getting anything from that? But apparently he's like, this is an E and E says eh. And I'm like, what? Half the time it's in Spanish. So how did you figure that out?
It's eh.
Is that what the Spanish is?
Fucking fine. I took French.
I took German. So it's A.
Oh.
E is A in German. A, B,
I,
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, E, R. U, S, Z, das alphabet.
I also failed French.
I don't know the French alphabet. Anyway,
Can tell you.
oh
A, B, C, D, E, F, J.
my gosh, it's,
Shay?
I don't know. Did I ask the next question? Do you miss it?
Do I miss what? You?
Do I miss teaching?
Oh.
No.
Felt like I could answer that for you.
No. I've even had people ask me before, like, hey, we're gonna do like a mommy and me thing, like a craft thing. Would you be interested in teaching it? I'm like, fuck no.
I'm not a teacher anymore.
Not even in the least bit am I interested in any of that. No. I kind of feel like I get to teach the way that I liked to teach, where I when I would do lessons and I felt like I was Mr. Feeney. I would like get to the point of the lesson where it was like philosophical and I'd like lean back on my desk and my students are looking at me like, why are you
not with you?
Why are you playing music right now?
This is the outro. You guys get up, leave.
Yeah. I did like those moments. There were some really cool moments. And I miss some of the people that I taught with, but other than that,
serving, there were moments where I loved it, and I met really good customers. I had fucking amazing people that I worked with, and then total assholes that I worked with, and total asshole customers. So it was like the good and the bad. Here's the thing, though: the bad outweighed the good a lot of the time, all of the time.
Yeah. What was the biggest thing you gained from leaving? Freedom. Absolute
being
total
able
freedom.
To do this, being able to be completely yourself and not have to worry when you put it on TikTok that a student sees it.
Because students have. Yep.
It's my favorite part.
Yeah.
So you're like not going back now for sure.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I've had people, adults over a certain age, because I'm adult too. When I say adults, sometimes I'm like, bitch, you are almost 30.
Yes.
You are an adult. And I'd be like, no, my adults above me.
My elders.
But they've been like, some of the things you say on the podcast, are you sure that, if you become a therapist or something, are you going to have people that are actually going to like listen to, what if they listen to the podcast? Are they going to think that you're a professional? I'm like, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. If I saw my therapist doing this, the next time I came in, I'd be like, what the fuck is up, girl?
Yeah.
Let's talk some real shit. I would feel so comfortable.
Already people are very, very open with us.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
we're relatable.
And we we've already told you that I shit in a closet, so it's not like
no
whatever.
secrets.
No, open.
That's the thing.
No judgment here.
If we are able to be raw and real, I feel like that opens the door for people to be raw and real back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, what better quality would you want from your somebody who you want to tell all your like bad shit to?
Right.
Feel like I would want to know.
Or your scary stuff, or the stuff that you're like embarrassed about or ashamed of. If you already know, like
they shit in a closet,
that you're blue at the dance.
I swear to God. I'll sing it for you when we're done with this.
I'm really excited for that. You never sing for me.
Oh, the pitch. The notes are not great.
No, that's fine. I don't need that. I don't need that at all. That was all the questions.
Oh, okay.
So I hope to the person who requested this, I hope that gave something to you.
And hopefully you watch.
What
if they just ask the question then never fucking watch the podcast?
Oh, that would be so sad.
It would be.
Oh, there was one thing I wanted to mention in the very beginning, and then I got so distracted by Sears concert that I totally forgot. But someone commented on our YouTube, Matthew, thank you for commenting. Something that I wanted to mention last week, again, because it was one of those moments like, you stupid idiot.
Yeah. We're so nice to ourselves.
Is that we totally left out the LGBTQ community whenever we were speaking about emotional intelligence and how people will label and what's the word I'm looking for? Like make people suppress their feelings.
Yeah.
Minimize people's feelings because people in the LGBTQAI plus community, people don't understand.
Yeah.
And so
I feel like that's especially in the trans.
Yeah, they get this absolute bullshit that's like, so are you a girl? Are you a guy?
And
like,
then your emotions are supposed to match, which is crazy. Again,
which is like, but what is a matching of an emotion? Like everyone has all of them.
Like we talked about in the one where we talked about gender norms. Why do we have gendered emotions? That is so weird to me.
Yeah.
I cannot figure that out.
Yeah.
And I think it's frustrating, and it has to be even more frustrating for somebody who is transitioning to deal with that, because it's almost like you can't express yourself either way.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm glad that they commented as well, because...
Yeah, I was literally thinking about that because, again, I will try and come up with stuff that I want to talk about or notes that I make from the last one. I was on my walk. I even remember where I was on my walk. I'm like, I have to say this. I have to say this. And then I saw that comment this morning and I was like, thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're always up to that. If there's something that we didn't touch on or that we got incorrect, we're humans. It happens. We're always up for corrections. Always. Yep. Please let us know. We are always looking to learn and to grow. And so...
Yeah, and we want to make sure that everyone...
We're inclusive to all people. That's what we want.
Yeah. So...
But we have a very limited, experience between the two of us.
Oh, for sure. That's not anything that we can speak on. And so that's why we encourage you guys to be so active in the comments and things.
Reach out to us so that we can...
Because if people can't see themselves represented here, we hope that someone is going to say something in the comments
that they can...
community
that we have,
that they can connect with.
Yeah.
And 99% of the time, we are completely dissociating while we're doing this, and we... I don't remember the majority of what we've said prior to this. So, I had a thought that I was going to add to something, and then it just went on a vacation. It went, goodbye.
See you later.
Yeah. So,
and it'll hit you when you're listening back to this. You'll be like, "Oh, son of a bitch!"
And I'll be on the same spot on my walk.
Yep.
But oh well, what are you gonna do? So, thank you guys for listening. That's that on.
Oh, we're doing that again.
I started listening to our old episodes and I was like, you got your comfy pants on? And I'm like, how the fuck did you think you were going to go back and be a teacher when you were doing phone sex shit at the beginning of every episode?
In the very first one, I told you to take them off. So seductively, take them off.
Yeah, everyone kept saying they were listening to the old episodes, so we started listening to the old episodes because we're like, what are you going to hear?
I know.
Does anyone ever do that? You get a new friend request or someone starts
You'd
following
go look
you?
through... I do that all the time. I'm like, what are the things they're going to see? Because they're going to form a snap judgment of me.
Yeah, but how many people that you add do you go and search every bit of their profile?
A lot.
You do?
Yeah.
You weirdo. I do not.
Here's the thing. I had like over 100 people. Thank you to everybody who added me on Instagram. It was weird for me.
I
at
just
first.
made mine public because I'm like, whatever.
Well, I have toxic people from my past that I don't want to see.
Fair enough.
Which is why I wasn't accepting.
I'm like, look me up, baby.
Fucking hope you do.
Yeah.
Well, I have things about my son on there, and so I try to keep that very private. And, but I talk about him enough on here that I feel like you guys can see pictures of it. But I just want you to know, thank you for adding me. I'm not an influencer of any kind. It's gonna be so bland.
She's like, they're gonna be so disappointed when
Yeah.
they see who I really am because you haven't shown them at all.
So boring. I'm more fun on here.
Yeah.
My,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't think they're expecting anything.
Don't expect too much from me.
Please.
Moms. I mean, please.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So that's that on why I love teaching and stuff. So
All right.
we're out.
Goodbye.